Life is changing. 50 years ago, a blackboard would be all you needed to have a high-tech classroom. Many people think the pace of life was much slower back then. Today, society is obsessed with technology. The average smartphone user checks their device 85 times a day. But what does this mean for children and young people who don't know what life was like before this all-seeing, all-knowing invention? I've come to my old school in Sheffield to see what kind of impact mobiles are having on children here. The students use their phones for all kinds of things.
Texting my parents, phoning people.
Instagram, Snapchat,
social media,
Netflix,
BBC iPlayer,
text my mum.
This is Instagram. It's a bit like Facebook, but I'd say it's probably a bit better now. So you can read DMs. They're like direct messages, private conversations that you can have with people.
This is Snapchat. It's all pictures or sometimes messages. You can send messages to your friends just directly, or you can look on a story, which is everyone.
It's just such a small thing, but it has pretty much anything on it.
It's not just the students who think phones are beneficial. The school's ICT or technology department is keen to push forward its campaign called Bring Your Own Device, where phones are actually used as part of the teaching process.
We've got 7-8-year-old laptops. Students are getting frustrated with the speed of them because they are used to instant on phones and immediate access. Having to wait 2-3 minutes for it to boot up and get going results in damage, and when we've canvassed the opinion of students, 2/3 of students want to just be able to use what they've got in their pocket.
But some teachers are more cynical and believe allowing mobiles to be used as research tools could be a recipe for disaster.
Why would we deprive a learning resource? The reason why we deprive it is because we can't stop ourselves from getting distracted we just go off task, wouldn't we? They can't be trusted to use them for learning. They will just not be following what's going on in class.
But distraction isn't always a bad thing. This academic has published research about how technology affects education and is disappointed by the lack of trust some teachers have for their students.
Children have always and will always think about other things. There might be a temptation to them to be distracted by their mobile phones if the lesson isn't as engaging as it could be. But anyway, I actually feel kind of non-panicked by the idea that somebody might be distracted in a lesson for 5 minutes. It's often the way to be creative, to use tangential ideas.
School's out for the day, and for these Silverdale students it's time to head home. But even this aspect of life has changed with mobile phones. For all the paranoid parents out there, there's now an app that you can use to track your child's whereabouts. So you might simply want to tell them off by saying, "We know that you were at the sweet shop this afternoon on your way back from school." Or it could be simply a reassurance so that you know that your child has got home safely. Just 15 minutes walk from school lives the Coombs family. Introducing Mum Ange, who likes baking cakes, Dad Phil, who loves watching the football, 14-year-old Hannah, who's reading 8 different books at the moment, and 11-year-old Billy, who is a professional biscuit thief. Hannah and Billy do generally eat healthily. They get their homework done on time and they stay active. But the mum and dad do worry about how to keep them happy in other aspects of their childhood.
Hannah was 11 when we got her first phone, and we got it because she went to secondary school and she was independent, and we felt that she needed to be able to contact us.
Even so, the children are more bothered about messaging their friends than about keeping safe.
Yeah, I have a group chat, and I have a lot of friends, and some of them aren't on it and stuff, so sometimes you think, think a bit sorry for them.
Do you think they feel left out?
Yeah.
Mum and dad worry that mobiles cause peer pressure.
They cause more trouble than they're worth. They cause huge amounts of problems.
It's really easy to forget that something you think is fun might not end up being fun.
I think it depends how much you go on your phone in general. If you go on your phone every day, then every day all the time, then it controls you.
I've decided to find out for myself how Hannah and her friends would manage if mobile phones had never been invented. So I've challenged them to trying to go 24 hours without using their phones at all, apart from to film a video diary to tell me how they found it.
I've just started the 24-hour challenge. It's going to be really hard.
A few hours into the challenge, it's break time at Silverdale.
We're still going.
Yeah, we haven't given up yet.
Yeah, it's not that
really difficult. Well, we've had music, which I want to choose my phone for some music, but she wouldn't let me.
I just use my phone to procrastinate, so I'm finding it really hard not to do work.
So yeah, I think we can carry on.
When I was still at school here, everyone used to go outside at break and lunchtime. But instead, many students now stay indoors to post on social media, message friends and watch videos.
If I had my phone taken off me, then it'd just be so like lonely. I'd feel so lonely.
I'll be really bored and upset.
But I wouldn't be happy whatsoever.
I'd probably just throw a strop. If I didn't have a phone, I don't know what I'd do.
So, will Hannah and Yalda cope without their phones till the end of the day?
It's tea time, and I'm almost at the end of the 24 hours. It's really hard. It's harder than I thought it was going to be. The first thing I'm going to do when I go back on my phone is probably going to be go on loads of games.
24 hours finished. Yes.
The fact of the matter is that children are spending more time than ever on mobiles. More than 4 in 10 children aged 5 to 15 regularly use a mobile phone, and only 3 in 10 regularly read books or magazines. Also, most children aged 8 to 15 have 3 or more media devices of their own. And this isn't necessarily good. 43% of children in the UK have been victimised by cyberbullying, most commonly through their mobile phones. One of this 43% is 15-year-old Macy, who's agreed to meet me at her local youth club. Last Christmas, Macy met her favourite rock band and put a photo of herself with them on Twitter. Within a few months, hundreds of people Macy had never met had left shocking comments on the photo.
It just started off with people like going, oh, you're ugly and stuff, and crap yourself out of the picture and everything. And then I retaliated, which was like probably a bad idea because it gave them more ammunition. And it ended up like escalating from like you're ugly to people saying like go kill yourself and everything. I'd be like, what? Okay. And then I got quite cocky about it, I guess, and I'd like retweet it and I'd be like, oh my god, look at what these people are saying to me. And I didn't really understand the effect it was having on me.
Cyberbullying comes in many forms. Another young person told me she's given topless photos of herself to boys in her year at school because the frequent messages they send her pressure her into doing it.
As a teacher, I deal with children who send sexting messages every single day. Today, out at work, I dealt with a kid who sent pictures all around school.
60% of 13 to 18-year-olds have been asked for a sexually explicit image or video of themselves. And this youth charity is worried about the consequences.
These young people get a criminal record for sending indecent images, also which can have a negative impact in lots of different ways for them. And also the young people that are receiving the images are getting not necessarily a criminal record, but a caution on their file.
This youth club is a safe place for Macy to meet new people. She says she's learned from her ordeal and is now far more careful online. Despite what happened, Macy still thinks the world is a better place thanks to mobile phones.
Having something there when I felt so trapped and isolated and away from everyone else, and I could just message my friend instantly like, please can you come around, I didn't feel too good. I think it's benefited me a lot.
Many of the questions I've asked about mobile phones and how they affect childhood have only led to more questions. But even as I stand around weighing up the pros and cons, even more new and amazing technology is being created by scientists as well as by children themselves.
A car with a wind turbine on the top. The simulation in your eyes, so you could play any game.
You could press a button and then the room we're in turns into a trampoline place.
So one thing we can be certain about, these children are part of a generation that are going to introduce even more technology for us to get used to and hopefully enjoy.